Hey everybody, welcome back to the Apartment Geek Weekly. I'm your host Chris Robinson, and the June gloom looks to have burned off today. I'm at my place and nice enough to where I'm doing the video again for a second week in a row from my home. I'll give a little sneak peek of the view out there from my living room coffee slash wine spot, which is pretty cool. Very cool. I'm grateful. So this week, the last part of the series about exit strategies, selling real estate and moving on to the next venture. Last week we talked about single tenant, triple net properties, which has been a real conservative, nice way to maintain income stream, staying in real estate, but very passive side of the spectrum with regards to not having any involvement. We also talked about management companies, which staying with apartments, not selling, not making any kind of disposition, but getting professional management involved. A lot of crappy property management companies out there, so you really have to do your research, stay on top of your profit loss statements, make sure they're raising rents, and make sure that you're okay psychologically. A lot of it's in the head with giving up control, which is hard for a lot of people. This week we're going to talk about charitable remainder trusts and deferred sales trust. So CRT, charitable remainder trust, if you want to sell real estate and maintain an income stream, also not having a capital gain situation. So it's a tax exempt sale when you put the property into CRT, or the trust. And what happens is the trust pays you for your lifetime, pays you an income stream. At the time of death, the asset gets donated to the charity of your, or I should say the proceeds from the sale get donated to the charity of your choice. So an option for people that don't have kids or heirs, and they have a connection with a nonprofit or really any charity. We can set these up through attorneys via the CRT. Deferred sales trust is pretty interesting. This one is essentially creating kind of a promissory note, and it's a way to sell an asset, not pay capital gain taxes, but diversify the equity typically into tax-exempt bonds, securities, and what it's a little bit more complex, but essentially the real estate is sold to a third-party trustee who, in place, gives you a promissory note. Now, that trustee can go sell the asset on the open market for the cash. The cash is then reinvested into, typically through a large broker, into, as mentioned, securities, bonds, things like that, typically on the more conservative side. It's for somebody who wants to get out of real estate, not pay the capital gain tax, but also kind of use this as a middle tool to diversify. Really, that's what it is. If you want to go into different sectors, different opportunities outside of just multifamily apartments, a little bit more of the security-based investment type. So deferred sales trust can get a little complex. I've got a real good contact if anybody wants to learn more about that vehicle. And charitable remainder trust, there's a couple attorneys that we've worked hand in hand with on these as well, if it's more of a donating the real estate at some point, but living another, however many years you think you're going to live and having income. So those are it. That's the last part of the three-part series. Hope some insights were achieved there, and we'll be looking forward to seeing everybody next week for a totally different topic. So until then, take care. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.